Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a city steeped in Southern charm, college pride, and community spirit. But between 1998 and 2003, a silent terror crept through its neighborhoods. Women began disappearing. Others were found brutally murdered inside their homes. For years, police searched for a killer, but they were looking for the wrong man. This is the story of Derrick Todd Lee, the Baton Rouge Serial Killer, a man who hid in plain sight, eluded capture for years, and left a trail of devastation that would haunt Louisiana forever. Derrick Todd Lee was born on November 5, 1968, in St. Francisville, Louisiana. His childhood was marked by instability, a father who abandoned the family, and a mother described as strict and temperamental. As a child, Lee was quiet, restless, and different. Neighbors recall the way he would just stare, unmoving for long periods, sometimes watching people through their windows. By age 9, his fascination with voyeurism was already forming, a dark pattern that would resurface years later. Lee struggled at school, often placed in special education classes. His IQ fluctuated between 70 and 91, borderline intellectual disability. Bullied and humiliated, he dropped out of high school in the 11th grade, but the seeds of something much darker were already sown. In 1987, Lee married his girlfriend, Jacqueline Sims. Together, they had 2 children, and for a while, life seemed normal. He worked as a pipe fitter and construction worker, earning a steady wage. But beneath the surface, his obsession with watching women persisted. Police reports began to pile up, breaking into homes, peeping through windows, harassing women. His behavior escalated. By the early 1990s, Lee had already been arrested several times for burglary, stalking, and even attempted murder as a teenager. But his punishments were light: probation, short jail terms, and no one saw the pattern emerging. In 1996, tragedy struck his wife's family. Her father was killed in an industrial explosion, leaving her a $250,000 settlement. Lee took the money and burned through it: cars, jewelry, gambling, and women. He was spiraling, and soon his fantasies turned into violence. In April 1998, 28-year-old Randy Mubaer vanished from her home in Zachary. Her house had been stalked before. The neighbors noticed strange noises, a car idling late at night. Inside, investigators found blood, signs of a struggle, and her 3-year-old son asleep in the next room. Randy's body was never found. The case went cold, and suspicion fell on her ex-husband. Meanwhile, Lee roamed free. 3 years later, the killing resumed. In September 2001, 41-year-old Gina Wilson Green was found strangled in her home near LSU. 9 months later, 21-year-old Geraldine DeSoto was brutally stabbed inside her Addis home. Then in May 2002, the violence reached a horrifying new level. Charlotte Pace, a brilliant LSU graduate, stabbed more than 80 times inside her apartment. The brutality was shocking. Police began to suspect a serial killer, but their profile was wrong. They believed the murderer was white. Derrick Todd Lee, a black man, wasn't even on their radar. That summer, Lee targeted his next victim, 46-year-old Diane Alexander. Posing as a contractor, he talked his way to her door, then forced his way inside. He beat and strangled her. But before he could finish, Diane's son walked in. Lee fled, leaving behind a survivor, a witness. Diane's detailed description and her son's quick action would later identify Lee, but not before more women died. Just 3 days later, 44-year-old Pamela Kennemore vanished. Her body was found under a bridge at Whiskey Bay. Her throat slit, nearly decapitated. Lee kept trophies, jewelry, trinkets, small mementos of his victims. 4 months later, he struck again, killing 23-year-old Denise Colomb in Lafayette, then 26-year-old Carrie Yoder in 2003. The city was paralyzed. Women were terrified to jog, to answer their doors, even to sleep. Police, under mounting pressure, tested thousands of DNA samples, but they were testing the wrong men. Everything changed when DNA analysis revealed a shocking truth. The killer wasn't white. Using ancestry DNA testing, still new at the time, scientists determined the suspect was 85% African. Suddenly, Derrick Todd Lee's name surfaced again, from an old Peeping Tom case in Zachary. His DNA was tested, and it matched the samples from multiple murders. When police went to arrest him, he was gone. Lee had fled Louisiana, taking his family north. The FBI and U.S. Marshals launched a nationwide manhunt. After 5 tense days, Derrick Todd Lee was found hiding in an Atlanta motel. He was extradited to Louisiana and charged with multiple counts of murder. In 2004, he was convicted of killing Geraldine DeSoto, sentenced to life. Later that same year, he was tried for the murder of Charlotte Murray Pace and sentenced to death. Lee spent 12 years on death row at Agonal Prison. In January 2016, before his sentence could be carried out, he died of heart disease at age 47. A quiet end for a man who brought unimaginable fear to an entire city. Even after his death, the scars remained. Investigators would later discover that 2 serial killers had operated in Baton Rouge at the same time. Lee and another man named Sean Vincent Gillis. The overlap was unprecedented. Diane Alexander, Lee's only surviving victim, fought for years to receive a reward for her role in his capture, but was denied on technicality. And Lee's own son would later face prison time for a shooting, another tragic chapter in a cursed family legacy. For years, Derrick Todd Lee blended in, a husband, a father, a churchgoer. But behind that mask was a predator who terrorized Louisiana and shattered countless lives. His story is a reminder that evil doesn't always look like we expect it to, and sometimes it's hiding right next door. If you or someone you know is a victim of stalking or violence, contact your local authorities or the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Subscribe for more true crime stories, and remember to stay safe.